Does James Mangold suck? Yes, he sucks very much in my opinion. But I encourage you to give me your opinion as well. So this is my personal retrospective based on the movies I've seen by him, and I'll touch on some of the movies I haven't seen by him. So Copland came out in 1997. I would have been 20 years old. He made one movie before this with Liv Tyler, but I don't know, nobody's ever heard of it. I haven't seen it. I didn't see Copland either, but it was famous for being, I think, the first attempt that Sylvester Stallone made at an actual drama movie rather than just action, and it did very poorly in the theaters. 1999, he made Girl Interrupted, which was kind of cool. I watched it on home video, and the standout performance was Angelina Jolie, because she was playing a complete psycho. And that's really the main point of the whole movie, is that she's a psycho. Or should I say it's the only thing to take away from it. Anybody who's seen this movie, that's all they'll remember, is that Angelina Jolie plays a psycho. Kate and Leopold, I never watched it. I have watched chick flicks before, but I mean, this was just so unbearable, just in concept. You see the trailer for it, oh my god. So Hugh Jackman plays like an Englishman from the 1800s who travels through time, and I guess he introduces Meg Ryan to chivalry and how gentlemen should behave. So it's a stupid rom-com and just complete fluff. Identity, I did not watch until years after it came out. It came out in 2003. I thought it was a really good movie. It has a twist ending. Very clever, and I think it's because he didn't write it. I don't think he really writes anything. Or if he does write anything, it detracts from what the co-writer wrote. But Identity is easily one of his best movies. Really good. Walk the Line, 2005. I don't really give a crap about Johnny Cash. And I don't want to see a bio of somebody who I have no admiration for. I mean, maybe I should. I just don't know anything about him. Joaquin Phoenix, I think he won an Oscar for this. Reese Witherspoon, she shined, apparently. Night and Day, I've never seen because Tom Cruise was in it. And after I found out what an evil Scientologist he is, I can't watch a movie with him in it. Let me guess, it's a romance thriller kind of thing? Yeah, it's an action comedy, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. And I forgot to mention he made one movie before that called 3:10 to Yuma, which is I didn't see. About a small-time rancher agrees to hold a captured outlaw who's awaiting a train to go to court in Yuma. I don't know what Yuma is. A battle of wills ensues as the outlaw tries to psych out the rancher. Period drama, action, crime, drama, western. Don't care. I mean, look, don't call your movie 3:10 to Yuma. It's a stupid title. You really have to have a good title if you want to. I'm sorry. Okay, the Wolverine. I love, or used to love, comic book movies. So the Wolverine was the worst Wolverine movie you possibly could make. And I don't know if James Mangold is a factory, director where they told him what to do. Whatever the hell happened in this movie, this was it was a disgrace. Okay, well, it wasn't as bad as like Brett Ratner's X-Men 3, but it was pretty bad. Oh, you know what? I thought the Wolverine was the one with Deadpool in it, where he gets his mouth sewn shut. No, the Wolverine is the one that's even worse, where he goes to Japan. So, thus far, I think this director has made only one movie that was successful, which was the Johnny Cash movie, and everything else seems to have just been hack work. So after you see, the Wolverine, oh no, and also he made Identity, which was very good, probably because it had a good writer. But I consider him a doofus based on the Wolverine. Anybody who could make the Wolverine, you're a doofus. But then, just when you say he's a doofus, he comes along with Logan, and Logan was like a masterpiece. That was maybe the best comic book movie ever made. Or one of them. So, I mean, what's going on here? Well, I have to think it's the writer. Either there was a great writer, or this was the first movie where he was given free. You can blame, maybe the producers always screwed up his previous movies. And this was the first movie where he was allowed to have complete control. But I would bet on the former. It was the writer. I guess third possibility is it was just one of those movies where everything just, lightning in a bottle, everything came together perfectly by luck. A good example of that is the movie Donnie Darko, where if you listen to the audio commentary, you realize that the writer-director really had no idea what he was doing, and it just accidentally made a cult classic. Okay, so now that everybody's thinking that, wow, this James Mangold, he's a fucking genius because he made Logan. He does Indiana Jones. Can I even call it Indiana Jones? Indiana Jack and the douche of Dickory. And I watched the first 10 minutes, and then I watched the last 10 minutes, and I thought it was a great movie. But from my friends and family who actually watched the whole thing, they were just, all they did was complain about how long it was. And like my father said, I don't get it. Indiana Jones just keeps getting beat up by that girl. Maybe there was tampering. I always wondered, like, why did Mangold even want to do this movie? It was, the deck was stacked against him right from the beginning based on Harrison Ford being 110 years old. But he was apparently very passionate about it. And then afterwards, when it failed, he blamed the fans, and he had quite the series of hissy fits. And I gotta say, before this movie came out, I was like, I don't know about James Mangold. He's not a proven commodity. He had one good movie as far as I've seen, and that was Logan. That's not enough to be sure that he can make good movies. One good movie is not enough. And let that be a lesson to you, Hollywood. If you want to try to make a classic or in a franchise like Star Wars or something, you don't want to hire someone who's not tried and tested, or perhaps someone who was tried and tested and only made one good movie out of 10. Well, 2 good movies. Identity was a great movie. Not a great movie, a good movie. But still, if you're going to make a Star Wars movie, you want somebody... You want to make a Star Wars movie. You want somebody like James Cameron or Christopher Nolan or George Lucas. And you want to wait. You want to take your time with a perfect script. Now, and currently in theaters, we've got James Mangold's autobiography, appropriately titled A Complete Unknown, because that's what he's going to be. My God, why would you make movies? You spend your whole life making movies and you end up being a complete unknown. No, it's a movie about Bob Dylan. I have slightly more interest in Bob Dylan than, what's his face, Johnny Cash, but not much more. So, I don't know, whatever. A friend of mine loves Bob Dylan and wants to go see it, because whatever, fine. So, but you tell me, is it a good movie? Have you seen it? So that's James Mangold, the director who strikes out 90% of the time. Why don't you give him another Indiana Jones movie?